Hello, everybody. This is Rachel Schaefer Lawson with Schaefer Law Firm, coming to you again to give you guys a couple more FAQs about reopening hospitality businesses in Nashville. Today, the mayor's office did a webinar for reopening hospitality businesses, which I enthusiastically attended. It was extremely informative, really, really useful. So I thought I'm going to throw a couple slides together to give you guys some of the answers to the frequently asked questions and a couple helpful tips right at the end. So the first thing that someone asked that I thought was a really good question is, what is the temperature threshold for a fever? And the answer is 100.4. So as everybody knows, once phase one rolls out, and those of you who have been following me on social media know that the mayor has extended the safer at home order until May 8th. We believe that as long as the cases are looking in a downward trajectory by that time, that we should see a reopening either on that date or shortly thereafter. But one of the things that you have to do in phase one is you have to take the temperature of your employees. So what is a fever? Is it 100? I assumed it was 100. So now we know it's 100.4, and that is considered the threshold for a fever. At that temperature is when you need to be sending your employees home and encourage them to get tested as well. I realize that my face is probably blocking some of this. And how large of a party can be seated/wait together during phase one? The answer is 6. I did not know this either, so this is really good information. So you can only seat parties up to 6, and only 6 people can be waiting together. Now, something that for those of you that have extremely popular restaurants, or you also have restaurants where people line up outside to enter or order, you're definitely going to need to be thinking through how you're going to be marking off those spaces where people are allowed to wait, making sure that that distancing requirement is in place. But you cannot see any parties higher than 6 in phase one. Do my employees need to be Davidson County residents to get tested? The answer is no, and this is really exciting for me as a Wilson County resident, is that if I am at the office and I would like to go run by one of the testing sites, I can do that. So your employees and staff do not need to be residents of Davidson County to get tested in Davidson County. Are employees required to wear face masks? They are not required to do so. However, it is very, very much my personal opinion, as well as the strong encouragement of the government, that employees should wear face masks. These can be masks that they either make themselves, they acquire on their own, or you can provide them. In my last video, I gave you guys some tips and tricks about how to make some of your branded apparel into face masks. I also encourage you to instruct your employees to wash their face masks daily. Definitely a good idea. Metro has ordered that signage needs to be posted that face masks should be worn by all, but they are not. It is not a must. It is a should be worn. So keep that in mind. When should we know when phase one will begin? This is probably the most popular question. So that's the question we all want to know. So the answer to that is we still don't know when phase one is going to begin. But the mayor's office says that they hope to give everybody a 4-day heads up that phase one is going to start. So, we are watching the mayor, his press conferences every single morning. We are monitoring that stuff. So I can tell you guys without a doubt that if you keep watching our Facebook and social media channels, that we're going to tell you when they think phase one is going to begin. Where can I find Metro's COVID-19 guidelines? This is the website, is www.asafenashville.org. And all of this includes information about the phases and how the reopening is going to happen. And finally, here are some other helpful things. So this goes without saying, but lead by example. So don't be wearing your face mask on your head or down around your neck. Wear your face mask. You and your management need to lead your other employees by example. So what I thought, Dr. Jahangir, who is the head of the Metro Health Department, this is a metric that I think is really, really helpful for us all to just keep our ears open, is that the average of 80 cases per day or less for the next week is how they're going to decide whether they're going to roll out phase one. The reason that it didn't happen, it's not happening at the end of this week, is we're not on a downward trajectory of cases. The other thing that I thought was very interesting that they mentioned that COVID guidelines will be enforced during routine health inspections. So they're going to look to see if you're doing these things if they come around for routine health inspections. Also, this I thought was really, really good to note. If you have closed your business and you've been closed since, late March, and you're just starting to, think about reopening everything, you need to flush out your water system. It's kind of like, you haven't driven your car in a while. When you first start it up, you might want to let it run a little bit so you don't blow the engine. Same thing. You want to make sure that you haven't let chlorine and things build up. So flush your water system before you start making food with it. The other thing, and this is just kind of a best practice, communicate and report daily with your management team. Talk to them, talk to your staff. People are scared, people are nervous, there's a lot of uncertainty. I highly recommend having daily, group huddles with your staff. Show them a solid front that you are taking every precaution, that you're doing everything that you guys can to keep a safe working environment for everyone. If we all work together, then we're going to have a really successful reopening and we're not going to have to go backwards. So the other thing I want to tease is a couple things that were really, that were highly, highly encouraged is creating protocols before this phase starts. And we at Schaefer Law Firm are going to start developing these protocols that we are going to create a website page on our site that you can just go and pay and download them so you will not have to create them yourself. So stay tuned for that. We're hoping to roll that out next week. If you are a current client of Schaefer Law Firm, give us a call and we'll get you queued up for all of that stuff as well. So thank you so much. If you would like more information, our contact information is below our website and phone number. Feel free to reach out to us. Again, we are here. We are pulling for you guys in the restaurant industry, and we are really looking forward to a safe and successful reopening of Nashville hospitality businesses.